Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me, Pippa? Wait. I can't hear you. Good morning. Can you all hear me properly? Good morning, Pippa. Right. Unfortunately, I haven't bought my camera. I came from Colombo to Goa, so I won't be appearing in pictures. I'll try with the phone for some time, but I will not be available in the camera most of the times. Okay, so that's fine with you. So we will be continuing with the lesson. Okay. Right. So Putte, if anything is not clear or if you can't hear me properly, just let me know. So we are going to start the photosynthesis lesson as many of you requested that you do not understand the lesson really well. Okay, wait. First of all, tell me whether you can see what I have shared the screen. Can you all see? All right. So I'm quickly going through um, about the photosynthesis and the importance of photosynthesis. I think all of you know this from all levels knowledge itself. So photosynthesis is important for all of us because it's a important process that is making food for us. That means all life on earth depends on photosynthesis directly or indirectly. And then it is important to fulfill both carbon and energy requirement of organism. What's the meaning of that? Carbon and energy requirements. It's a carbon source for organisms to respire, and also it's making energy. And then provide oxygen for respiration of anaerobic organisms. That is also one thing. And then maintaining oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. Next, production of fossil fuel. Next, maintenance of global temperature. All these are importance of photosynthesis. This is not usually coming in an essay question, usually coming in structured essay questions to write few answers out of this. Right. Tell me whether you are okay with the importance of photosynthesis, children. Are you all okay? Right. Next, I'm going to uh, the process of photosynthesis, that is having two major parts. We call it as light dependent reaction of photosynthesis. That means light is necessary for the reaction to happen. And the second part is Calvin cycle. To be honest, it has to be light independent reaction. They are not using the term here. They are using Calvin cycle term here, considering only the C3 photosynthesis here. I will explain what they are when I'm going through. It says there are two types of photosynthetic mechanisms or pathways based on the number of carbon atoms in the first stable products of carbon dioxide fixation. That means two mechanisms are there. If the first stable compound, a 3C3 compound, which is we know nowadays, that is 3PGA. So if it is 3PGA is the first stable product, we call it as C3 pathway. Hari? 1 minute. Hence, if it is 3PGA is the product, that is C3 pathway. And 4-carbon product is the first product, let's say oxaloacetate, that is the C4 pathway. Understood now? Right. Tell me, children, that part okay? Hi. Then I'm going to the next section. Then second. So we are making a summary of photosynthesis lesson along with this one. You can see what I have shared. Mm, First of all, the importance of photosynthesis now. In short, if we write importance with it, just quickly tell me to complete this one. What are the importance of photosynthesis? I'll write it in short format so that it is easy for you to memorize this one. Number one is what? All life depends directly or indirectly, no? And then number two, what is number two? Fulfill both carbon and energy requirements. Then provide oxygen. I'm writing it in very short format for you to easily remember. Uh, Provide oxygen, and maintain CO2 or an O2 balance. Alright, maintain O2 and CO2 balance. And then production of fossil fuel and maintaining global temperature. No? Fossil fuel, maintain So this is the shortest way that I can write. And then number 2, we can talk about 2 main stages of photosynthesis. Can you guys tell me what are the 2 main stages of photosynthesis? That's the 2 main stages, children. You have to answer now. What are the 2 main stages? Light dependent reaction and Calvin cycle. Yes. So I'll write it here. Right. Then number 3. Two mechanisms of photosynthesis. What are the 2 mechanisms of photosynthesis we discuss now? No? Hmm. C4 and C3 mechanisms. Yes. Why do we call it as C4 mechanisms? Why do we call it as C3 mechanism? You guys need to tell me. Depending on the first stable compound. C3 pathway, what is the first stable compound? 3 carbon, 3 PGA. 3 plus fugic acid. And then C4 pathway, what is the stable compound? That is oxaloacetate. Alright. So because of this reason, the pathways are having names. So we are naming those C3, C4 pathways like this. Just remember, not only C3, C4 pathway, there is another photosynthetic pathway called chem photosynthesis. If you want, you can have a little search and see. That is called chem photosynthesis, CAMP. So in that one also another mechanism is there. According to your level, you will be learning only these two pathways of mechanisms of photosynthesis. All right, let's talk about the photosynthetic equation. That is something you know already. What is it? You'll be taking carbon dioxide plus what? CO2 plus water will give you C6, H12, O6 plus oxygen, isn't it? All right. So what comes on the arrowhead? Chlorophyll and what comes on the arrowhead? Hmm? Chlorophyll and sunlight, no? Right. I can't write that on the arrowhead. You can write when you're writing this one, okay? Then I'm going to next part. Right, we are going to talk about the locations where these reactions occur, light-dependent reaction and the Calvin cycle. Where does light-dependent reaction occurs, Pute? On the thylakoid membrane, no? Isn't it? Isn't it? On the thylakoid membrane only, the light-dependent reaction is happening. Calvin cycle, where does it occur? Calvin cycle occurs on the stroma of the chloroplast. Right. So, okay. Right. Natuki, can you hear me? Can, no? Right. So I discussed up to this. This part is easy. So I discussed about importance and two main stages and where does it occur, and two mechanisms of photosynthesis, C3 and C4, and about the equation. On top of arrow, you had to write light and sunlight and chlorophyll. I couldn't write it there. And then I'm going to the next section. Right, I'm going to talk about action spectrum and absorption spectrum of photosynthesis now. absorption spectrum of photosynthesis. Alright, so here is the graph. So this graph is extremely important. So first of all, let's define what absorption spectrum of photosynthesis is. That is graph of the relative amounts of light absorbed at different wavelengths by a pigment. That means this is showing each pigment is taken at a time. They are giving different wavelengths of light. That means you are giving red light, you are giving yellow light, blue light. Likewise, you are sending the light through the different pigment extract, and you will be figuring out which lights are absorbed most, which lights are absorbed least. Understood? So from this one, you can see this is kind of a collective of all these results. So in this graph, you can see what is mostly absorbed. Hmm? Which color is mostly absorbed? Red and blue colors are mostly absorbed by all the pigments. Then what is least absorbed? Green color. Mostly green color is least absorbed, right? All right. So then what else we can say? You can say that carotenoids are mostly absorbing. Carotenoids mostly absorb. Which colors? Carotenoids are mostly absorbed by? Yeah, blue-violet colors, no? Blue-violet region. Correct. What else we can say from this graph? Chlorophylls mostly absorb. Which colors? Red and blue, no? Is that it? Right. So remember very well, children, this graph is extremely important. You have to remember the axis labeling, and probably they may ask you to draw this one too. This is not a hard one because in the exams, related to Unit 5. These hormone graphs and also have come in the exam. So make sure that you will learn how to draw this one properly. It might come in future as a question, and also axis labeling is important. If you have drawn this properly, if you haven't labeled the axis properly, meaning that you can't get the marks properly, right? So that make sure that you will do that one. All right, then I'm going to the action spectrum of photosynthesis. Whatever the absorbed ones, we are going to see whether they are being used. I'm going to define first. Mm, it is a graph showing effectiveness of different wavelengths of light in stimulating photosynthesis. Mm, right, so this graph is showing effectiveness of different wavelengths of light in stimulating photosynthesis. So look at the graph now. So you may see that in this graph, this is showing the y-axis is there, x-axis is there. Y-axis is giving the rate of photosynthesis measured by amount of oxygen released. That means it's showing the rate of photosynthesis. And the x-axis, you have the wavelength. So you are giving different wavelengths, and you are looking at how many are like what is the volume of oxygen produced in each wavelength of light. Likewise, if you can remember the Auder's apparatus experiment, this can be done using that as well, using different colors of light as the light source. So this is easy using another apparatus, another sophisticated equipments are there, but I'm telling a simple method using different colored light, and you are giving that and you are seeing what is the volume of oxygen collected at each time. Okay. Alright. So this graph also we can get some conclusions. What are the conclusions we can get from this graph? Hmm? Apute, what are the conclusions we can get from this? What kind of conclusions we can give? Rate of photosynthesis is high in which colors? In blue and red, no? ඊළඟට then rate of photosynthesis is low at what color? Yes, green color. You can tell in wavelength wise also, but better to tell green color. Alright? And from this you can say that these two graphs are almost look similar now if you keep on top of each other. You can say that all the absorbed colors are utilized effectively. Alright? All the absorbed colors are utilized effectively. Understood? Alright. Can I go to the next section? Okay. Uh, right. Mm, remember very well, these two graphs are extremely important. You have to remember how to draw and how to explain. It can come in question, and also axis labeling is a top priority. Hi. So I'm coming to this part, which is to talk about photosystems. So our number 7 is photosystem. Oh no, darling, the rate of photosynthesis is low in green, not high in green. Never tell that. Mm, hi. Mm, photosystem, I'll define it first. Chlorophyll molecules. Other organic molecules. And proteins are embedded, so organized into complexes. in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. So if somebody asks where does the photosystems are located, what would you say? On the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. Do you agree? Location of food system, right? So I will take a picture of chloroplast. Right, you can see that on this diagram, they are having thylakoid membranes. Thylakoid membranes, on top of these thylakoid membranes, there are lot of photosystems located. That means on these areas, there are a lot of photosystems are located. Understood? Another. Hi. So, I'm going to draw a photosystem also here. Right. So the photosystem is having two major parts. I'm going to draw that one. Mm, right. So this outer part, what do we call it? Hmm? Light harvesting complex. Here it is light harvesting complex. Mm, right. So what is inside? What is the inside part? This part. Yes, that is reaction center complex. Good. So reaction center complex and light harvesting complex is there. Now in the light harvesting complex, we have uh, different types of pigment molecules. I'll take different colors to show that there are different types of chlorophyll and other photosynthetic pigments. So let's say these are chlorophyll A molecules. So this is chlorophyll B, let's say. Now I'm adding another color. These are carotene and xanthophyll molecules, let's say. So in the light harvesting complex, we have different types of pigment molecules that may be chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene, xanthophyll. So this is the higher plant we are considering, right? So in the reaction center complex, there is a pair of special chlorophyll A molecules, and also we have a primary electron acceptor. So here it is, primary electron acceptor. So these are the things which are present in the mm, like the photosystem of photosystem located on thylakoid membrane of chloroplast. Let's label that too also. Pair of special chlorophyll A molecules and uh, primary electron acceptor. Also, this is known as the reaction center. Got it? Understood that part up to that? That part okay? Ah, now I am going to tell you what's happening in a photosystem. The light energy comes to this photosystem as energy photons, energy packets you may have heard of. That quantum energy packets are coming to the photosystem, right? So this is it. So this is light energy. So after absorbing the light energy, this photosystem gets excited. So the electrons are excited to higher energy level and they will be usually returning back to the original position. As you know in chemistry, when the electrons are going to higher energy position and returning back, they will be releasing the absorbed energy, right? So that remember very well from photosynthetic molecule to photosynthetic molecule, uh, the light energy is passed until the reaction center special pair of chlorophyll A. This part is mostly hidden in your book, saying that excitation of chlorophylls results after absorbing energy from the light harvesting complex, and then excited electrons are accepted by the primary electron acceptor. So this is the correct way. The energy is coming until the reaction center like this, and then thereafter, the electrons are excited from the special pair of chlorophyll A molecule as a result of absorption of uh, energy. These electrons are moving to a higher energy position, right? So here the energy is now, sorry, the electrons are now accepted by the primary electron acceptor in the reaction center complex, right? Okay. Look at the diagram energy and diagram again and see whether you can understand. Alright, I'm going to the book to see what they have discussed there. Mm, right, this part. You can see it now clearly. Chlorophyll A molecules absorb photons and become excited. Excited in the sense their electrons are going to a higher energy state. For example, if this is the nucleus of an atom, the nucleus and the shells are having electrons now. So these are shells, let's say. Wait, let me draw it properly. This is the nucleus and having electrons in the shells like this. Likewise, there are shells now. Doesn't come out properly, but I'll just draw it and explain. Now electrons from one of these shells, they will be moving to the higher energy state by going to the next shell or above level, right? Absorption causes excitation of electrons. The meaning is that the electrons are always going to the higher energy state. All right? So it says that the energy from the photons boosts the electrons from chlorophyll A to a higher energy level. Do you understand the meaning of that? Do you understand the meaning of that? The energy from the photons boosts the electrons from chlorophyll A to a higher energy level. The excited electrons carrying higher energy is accepted by primary electron acceptor. Remember very well, this is hiding a fact that in the initial stages, that means if you go to this one, in the light harvesting complex, excited electrons are returning back to ground level, that means the original level, in by releasing the energy that they absorb. So the next pigment molecule absorb the energy. Likewise, pigment molecule to pigment molecule, like resonance, this energy will be moving until to the mm, reaction center complex. This part is hidden in your book, telling that by absorbing light energy, light photons, the chlorophyll molecule, the electrons are excited and it's being accepted by primary electron acceptor here. So look at this one. This part only explained here in the book. Can you all understand that part? Just say that according to the book, absorbing light energy by the pigment molecule results in excitation of chlorophyll molecule, excitation of electrons in the pigment molecules. These excited electrons are accepted by uh, the primary electron acceptors. Tell me whether you understood this part. Anita, okay, here Shavindi, Aravindi, Gayuni. Uday Demindi, did you get the photosynthesis tute? Who is this Prasangika? Can I know who this is? And also who is Netu Ratnayaka? Netuki, no? Hari Hari. Binut is there. Hari. Okay, okay. Tell me whether you all understood what's happening here. All what I explain here is chlorophyll A molecules absorb photons and become excited. It's talking about the reaction center here. Understood? The energy from the photons boost electrons from the chlorophyll A to higher energy level. The excited electron carrying energy is then accepted by primary electron acceptor. හරිද? ඒ ටික තේරුණාද නැද්ද? තායි කියන්න ඕනද? මිතුෂි හරි, ශවින්දි හරි, ගායනි හරි, කෝ අනිත් අය? දිනුති නම් දැන් යාවි අනිත් අයට ඕකේද? හරි. එතකොට මෙතන මම ඉතුරු ටික කියවනවා. Thereafter the chlorophyll A molecules become positively charged. If anything is giving out electrons, you know what? That particular thing will become positively charged. So here in this case, what will become positively charged is this chlorophyll A molecules. Can you understand that part? That means this is giving out pair of chlorophyll A molecules giving out energy, electrons. So since this is giving electrons, these chlorophyll molecules become positively charged. If something is giving out electrons that is becoming positively charged, we say that it is oxidized. Agree? Right, I'm coming to this place. It says that the excited state of electrons is unstable and therefore they return to their original level energy state, original low energy state. Mm, the excited electrons may pass through several electron carriers until they return to the final electron accept. Let's see what they are telling. The excited state of electrons is unstable. That means even if it is accepted by primary electron acceptor, that is not stable, meaning that they have to release this energy and they have to come back to original state of energy. So that what happens here is this will be going through a series of electron acceptors here. It's going a chain of electrons in this pathway while releasing the absorbed energy. So these electrons at the primary electron acceptor with the energy, they are coming here so that this energy will be released and ATP will be produced and some other compounds will be produced by releasing this energy. Understood that part? Right. I'm going to the next part here. Right, now I'll give you little time to read this once again and see whether you can understand. To completely read this section. Right. Did you read that part? Right, I'll be moving to the next section. Are you all done with this? Right, here it is talking about photosystems more. It says chlorophyll molecules other organic molecules and proteins are organized into complexes in the thylakoid membrane of chloroplast. They are called photosystems. Photosystems contain a reaction center complex and light harvesting complexes, and the reaction center complex contains organized proteins holding a pair of chlorophyll A molecules. And a primary electron acceptor. Light harvesting complexes consist of various photosynthetic pigments. There are two types of photosystems found in the thylakoid membrane. They are photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. May 1 and 2 එන්න මෙහෙමයි. If this special pair of chlorophyll A is absorbing the 700 nanometer wavelength effectively, we call it as photosystem 1. If this pair of chlorophyll A is accepting 680 nanometer wavelength, we call it as photosystem 2. So we will be adding that into our short note. PS1, PS2. PS1 means it's absorbing 700 nanometer light effectively. PS2 is absorbing 680 nanometer light effectively. You have to remember this one very well. You will need this in the next section about light dependent reaction of photosynthesis. Are you all done? Right. I'm moving to the next one. Light dependent reaction of photosynthesis. Light dependent reaction of photosynthesis is having two pathways. Number one is linear electron flow, or else we call it as non-cyclic electron flow. The two cyclic electron flow. හරිද? Hmm. Wait few minutes. I'll get the book and come. Right. So here is a picture from Campbell. This is showing what I drew in the photosystem section. Light is absorbed by photosynthetic pigment. The light energy is moving from pigment molecule to pigment molecule, and it is resulting excitation of electrons from the chlorophyll pair of chlorophyll A molecules. And these electrons are the ones which are accepted by primary electron acceptor. Understood up to that? I'm moving to light dependent reaction here. I wanted this picture. Hi. Everyone, can you all see? Linking this picture to our chart. Right, you can see now. Right. So what I was about to explain here is, give me one minute again. So here is the picture. Right. So you can see that this is having two photosystems here. Can you see what are the two photosystems here? Photosystem 2 and photosystem 1, isn't it? There are two photosystems here. This is, we are going to explain firstly the light dependent reaction of photosynthesis, linear electron flow. Light energy is absorbed by this photosystem. Can you all see that one? Light energy is absorbed as energy photons, and this light energy is given to the special pair of chlorophyll A molecules, and this special pair of chlorophyll A molecules is excited and it's giving out electrons now. Electrons are now accepted by the primary electron acceptor here. Can you all see that one? Electrons are then going through a series of reaction complexes, and then which are there in the lower energy levels compared to where it was, and going meanwhile, while it is going through, it is releasing the energy. Since it is moving from higher energy to lower energy, as you can see, it's giving the energy to produce ATP. Since the ATP is produced using light energy, we call this as what do we call it as? Photophosphorylation. So this is happening in this place. So then this energy is now moving to the reaction center of the PS1, and meanwhile at the same time this PS2 is also, so PS1 is also absorbing light energy. Electrons are excited and this energy is given to the special pair of chlorophyll A molecules, and then now these electrons are excited and moving to higher energy level. You can now understand when the electrons are accepted by primary electron acceptor, this chlorophyll A will become positively charged and it is having some lack of electrons. These electrons are filled by the electrons coming from the PS2. Can you all understand that one? Here again, in the PS2 also, when the electrons are accepted by primary electron acceptor, PS2 chlorophyll A is oxidized. Now there is no electrons. It should be filled. There is a gap of electrons. It is filled by hydrolysis of water. Water is hydrolyzed into H pluses, oxygens and electrons. These electrons are given to this special pair of chlorophyll A molecules. Can you understand that one? Hi. So now these electrons are at this point. These electrons are then going again through electron transport carriers series. And then the electrons are given to NADP plus and also H plus coming from the hydrolysis of water is given here. So taking H pluses in NADP plus and electrons coming from this series, and it is reducing NADP plus into NADPH using NADP plus reductase. If the book doesn't give you NADP plus reductase, please add it as NADP plus reductase, because in the exam also this time they took NADP plus reductase. Give me 1 second. කොහෙද යන්නේ? එන. Again. Alright, tell me children whether you understood this section or should I go through one more time? Right. What about others? Gayoni, okay. Shavindi Hari, Arvindi Hari, Netushi, Netu කියනම් තාම තේරෙනවද? දන්නේ නැහැ පුතේ තේරෙනවද? Hi. Okay, now I am going to directly to the past paper question which came from the light dependent reaction of photosynthesis. I think better to read the past paper answer rather than going through the book regarding this case. Let me go to that one. Wait, I'll explain the other part as well, the light, sorry, the cyclic electron flow also, then we'll go to that past paper, okay? Mm. There's a nice diagram. Now only I also saw this one. Wait. Here this they have given a nice diagram showing what really happens here. They are giving photons. They are uploading photons and then photons are raised. Photons are exciting electrons to high energy level and then it will be going to a lower energy level. You can see that nicely it's giving out energy since it is going from high energy level to lower energy level. And this second photosystem also absorbing photons and these electrons are excited and it's now at the more higher level. And then these electrons are given to NADP plus to produce NADPH. Nice. Yeah. Right. So I'm coming to the cyclic electron flow here. You can see the cyclic electron flow only using photosystem 1. Only this photosystem is used. What happens there is the electrons which are at the primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1 is going in an alternative cyclic pathway like this and this is generating only ATP, no other compounds such as no oxygen production, no NADPH production, no hydrolysis of water. So this is only producing ATP as the product. This is to increase the ATP production. These two pathways are happening simultaneously. Cyclic electron flow and the linear electron flow happening simultaneously. Inaudible. Hari inna. Hari. Then make it in this one, these electrons are now going in a cyclic pathway. It is to increase the production of ATP, not to do anything else. Both pathways, that means this linear electron flow and the cyclic electron flow happening simultaneously. Can you all understand that one? Give me 1 minute. I'll go to the question also. Using the question, we need to build the notes here because the book is having some unnecessary data. In the sense, it's kind of a chart. Um, Right, so this is 2020 3A level paper. Right. This is the question, children. Describe the line electron flow that takes place in the chloroplast during the light reaction of photosynthesis. Asking you to describe the light dependent reaction, line electron flow only. You don't have to describe the cyclic electron flow here. But there may be a question in future to describe both. If you are asked to describe the light dependent reaction, both line electron flow and cyclic electron flow must be described. Let's go with one by one these sentences. Number one, electrons flow through photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. There are two photosystems as we discussed. You have to say that electrons are flowing through these two photosystems. That is also 1 mark. And the other molecular components embedded in the thylakoid membrane. That means you have to say that photosystems are located on thylakoid membrane. Not only these and other molecular components are also there. These electrons flow through these. Each photosystem has a reaction center complex and light harvesting complex. That part we already know. The reaction center complex contains a primary electron acceptor. In the PS1, chlorophyll molecules OP700, which absorb light of 700 nanometer wavelength. That means it's giving a brief description what the PS1 is, what the PS2 is. In PS2, chlorophyll molecule is P680, absorb light of 680 nanometer wavelength, and here striking of photons of light on the photosynthetic pigments results in the excitation of electrons from PS2 to a higher energy state. That is one point. These electrons are accepted by primary electron acceptor in the PS2. Splitting of water occurs due to an enzyme catalyzed reaction which yields oxygen 1 mark, H plus 1 mark and electrons. That means they are describing what is basically happening in the photosystem 2. This one. Harada. Make monada venne. This light energy is coming to the photosystem as photons, and this results excitation of electrons from the photosystem. These electrons are accepted by the primary electron acceptor in the photosystem, and then in order to fill the gap which is created by excitation of electrons and going out of the electrons of this one, water is hydrolyzed to give H pluses, oxygen and electrons. Understood that one? Right, read up to this point. Right. Read up to 17 point. Hi, are you done reading? Hi. So, Kute, now I'm going to next part. Here, these electrons released as a result of hydrolysis neutralize excited photosystem 2 PS P680 plus meaning that the electrons are given out. It's now excited. P680 plus is also the same. You can say that excited PS2, excited P680. Don't write plus if you write excited. Or else excited, without excited part, you can just say P680 plus, right? These are the three terms. Number one, excited PS2, excited P680, else P680 plus denotes that, excited plus denotes that. Striking of photons of light on pigments result in excitation of electrons from PS1 to a high energy state. That is talking about now what's happening in the PS1. These electrons will be accepted by the primary electron acceptor in PS1. Excited electrons at PS2 pass through an electron transport chain to PS1 and neutralize excited PS1 or excited P700, else P700 plus. Energy released due to passage of electrons from higher energy to lower energy state results synthesis of ATP. We call it as photophosphorylation. Excited electrons at PS1 pass through an electron transport chain. Next one, reduce NADP plus to form NADPH, which catalyzed by NADP plus reductase. Understood? Right. Let's quickly go to the book to see what's talked in this section. Also, this cyclic electron flow. Right. So it is telling cyclic electron flow occurs in photosystem 1, but not in photosystem 2. And here some photoexcited electrons use an alternative cyclic pathway, produces ATP, but NADPH is not produced and oxygen is not released. Right? Okay, understood? Hi, now I'm taking a little break to eat and come. You also get a little break and come. I'll discuss the second part of this lesson, which is Kelvin cycle after this. So I have now uh, shown you what the essay question has come from this section. And after the break, I'll give you one structured essay question also regarding cyclic electron flow which came recently, and we'll be quickly going to the second part because we don't have enough time to finish everything if we do every question and go. Please make sure you go through what I have discussed in the classes. I have discussed so many questions in the classes regarding this. I think everyone will go to that one. Okay, right. So we'll see you after the break. Okay.